friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. So if you were like in the mood for somebody to babble to you about the newest stuff coming out, well, I got one. It's the new one from Black Country Communion. It is entitled 5, not V. It's 5. I've heard some people say V. I just think that's funny. But anyway, 5th album from these guys, 5th studio album anyway. They got a couple, or at least one live one out there. Where to start? Where to start with these guys? It's, you know, they get labeled a supergroup, which is fine. Whatever you want to call them, supergroup. That's fine with me because they are a supergroup. I know, stupid dad joke, but they're really good. I remember the very first time I ever heard Glenn Hughes like sing. For the memory that comes back to me is I heard this album called Phenomenon, and the singing on that was like blew my mind, and I had to get everything I could possibly from Glenn Hughes from that point on, and I've never stopped to this day. He's got so much stuff out there, it's insane. But I really like the stuff he's done with, you know, Black Country Communion, because we also have Jason Bonham, in case you don't know, on drums, Derek Sherinian on keyboards, and Joe Bonamassa on guitar. I remember when these guys first came out, and there was like a couple bootleg things out there of these guys too, and playing some live shows that I got way back then too. And I just remember, like, one of the very first memories I have beyond the first album was their version of John Henry, which I thought was just insanely great live. That one kind of blew my mind. But anyway, so I was really excited to hear this new album. I saw the single "Stay Free" came out, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it had that cool funky groove to it, and I was immediately thinking stuff like Stevie Wonder-ish type funk feel, which I'm not really into that, but I like funk sound anyway, and you know, Glenn just makes it sound insanely cool. So I thought that was a good start. I didn't listen to the other singles. I didn't want to like ruin the album buying experience, because I'm one of those guys who likes to get the album and just, you know, just dive in, and that's kind of what I did. So I got this a little bit early, and I've been listening to it. I didn't realize that the very first song in here, "Enlightened," was actually a single as well. But talk about a song that gets stuck in your head like instantly. Holy crap, that song got a cool groove, immediately locked in with me, and really the album from that point on, it just kept getting better. My favorite one on here, I got a couple actually. You know, "Stay Free" was the next song on here, but "Red Sun," holy crap, that groove and that riff in that song. I don't know where these guys come up with this stuff. This is one of the, I made a video last week, you know, talking about bands who like forget how to write songs. Like they come up with all this great stuff early on, and then they just kind of forget how to write. These guys have not forgotten how to write. I mean, I don't even know who came up with that riff or not, but holy crap, is that a cool riff. And that kind of, and you know, it's a longer song, and it kind of like blends into a whole different feel by the end of the song. Big epic. I don't know how they do it. Just the four of them make these songs sound big, but holy crap. And then of course, you know, we get a couple ballads on here. I'm not going to go through song by song on this one, just because I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I'm making these things too long. So, but you know, they got a couple killer ballads on here. Glenn sings like really different on the first one there. He sings a little bit more raspy and more like vulnerable, I guess is the word I'm looking for, than I've ever heard him sing. But then of course kicks into full, you know, Glenn mode by the end of the song, which is cool. The other song that I really liked on here, I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, was called "Skyway." I don't know what it is about that song. Not super heavy. It's kind of a mid-tempo-y thing, but it had just a cool little feel to it and a little groove that I really enjoyed quite a bit. So those would be my two favorites. And of course, then from that point on, you get some killer soloing on here from Joe. Not that much, you know. You think with Derek and the band, you'd have all these like amazing solos and stuff they do. There's not a whole lot of that. It's more like this album feels more, I don't want to say, I guess, cohesive, I guess, but it sounds more like an album than the rest of them have, whereas it just kind of has the same feel to it, and it sounds like they recorded together, which I think they did the last ones, but this one sounds more that way. And the other thing I noticed, that Joe doesn't sing anything on here. I was waiting for a Joe song, because he tends to do that on the previous releases, and I think Joe's got a really cool voice as well. unique. You know, it's him as soon as he starts singing. And, you know, live, he does quite a bit. There's nothing on here, but he sure does tear it up on guitar on these. I think my favorite solo, actually, it's probably the last two songs, Too Far Gone and The Open Road. Both have killer guitar solos in it. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are probably my two favorite ones. I'm looking at the rest of them, trying to think if there's one that stands out a little bit better than that. Well, Skyway's got a really good solo in it too. I mean, they all do. But as far as like hearing stuff, maybe you don't hear Joe do quite as much in his blues vein, you know, on his solo stuff. He tends to rock it out a little bit more on these songs. And yeah, as far as a little nitpickingness of having Joe not sing anything on it, I mean, how can you complain about Glenn singing every song? It's like, I feel stupid even mentioning the fact that he sings everything, because he's what, the voice of rock? Wasn't that his title? Isn't that what people call him? So he has that title for a reason, so I guess we can't complain about that. So I do have to rate this album pretty high. There's not a clunker on here. This one's probably not going to leave my player for a while. I feel bad for the other albums I got, because I don't feel like taking this one out yet. So anyway, that's my quick little take on it. Great album, worth the wait. Was it been 7 years? Holy crap. I hope we don't have to wait another 7. But, I mean, Glenn's also, is he just turning 73 this year? And he still sounds just as good, if not better, than he's ever sounded. I don't know. I could rant about Glenn alone. I don't know what it is about him. He just, like, blows my mind. I wish I could be half that talented, especially as long as he's done it. But anyway, as always, feel free to share your thoughts, comments, and like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because if they're going to keep releasing stuff like this, I want them to keep this music alive. So until next time, we'll see you.